Hi, I'm Dave Jensen, and I'm here today to talk about a topic that I absolutely love. If you've watched our YouTube videos or taken any of our courses here on our digital membership site, you know that I absolutely love focusing in on that fish. What you don't know is where I really get engaged these days when my fly fishing is if there's that fish and that fish in a tight bathtub sized area, or maybe there's 3 or 4 fish in a little area. I'm outside today because I don't like the stiltedness of being indoors. Where I can flow, I'm best outside on the water. We're out here in early November, about a week before we're going to New Zealand on our annual trip. This is the Old Man River below the dam in southwestern Alberta. I would really encourage you as you watch this production to understand that even though I talk my experience, our experiences, this is about you. Where I excel is honing in on dissecting things. If there's 1 fish, there's 2 fish, 3 fish, 4, it sounds like Dr. Seuss, I want to catch them all. And I'm assuming that by you being here and watching this video, you want to do the same thing. A lot of fly fishers go, oh, look at that big fish, and they hone in on that one fish. They get horse blinders. Quite often there's more than 1 fish in an area, and my hope is to get you thinking not just that fish, but what about the collective of 2, 3, or 4 fish in an area, the fish that you can or can't see. I want you to understand that there's a potential, there's a roadmap, and that roadmap is based upon our actions and our behaviors, as well as the fish behavior, that you can see the opportunity in front of you to pick off that fish, then that fish, then that fish, and so on if they're there. The biggest thing in fly fishing isn't that any of this is hard. Most of you are going to look at this video and say, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. You can do all this stuff. None of this is hard. The difference is I'm thinking to sticking to my plan of taking every single fish right in front of me. And if you're watching this video, I really encourage you to, if you've just bought the standalone course, I encourage you to go over to our digital membership site and watch our Fly Fishing Trout Streams Master Course. That lays out the foundation of everything, our approach, our presentation, our long leader setup, why, where to stand in relation to this fish and that fish, what best cast is the best cast in that moment, formulating a plan. After we look at 3 chapters on finding your trout stream, there's another couple of chapters on formulating a plan. And that, when you formulate a plan, you understand that that fish is a project. And a lot of people go, well, that 20, 22, 24-inch brown that's right along the shoreline, well, that's my project. Well, what if there was 2, 3, or 4 fish? What's your project look like now? That's what I want people to start looking at. Anybody can catch, anybody can come up with a plan on that fish, but what about the plan that allows you to catch 1, 2, 3, 4 fish, and knowing what the trout behavior is showing you, what that fish is telling you it will accept or won't accept based on our actions, in order that we pull and draw the fish away from the rest, in order that everything that happens after the cast and the hookup and the fight is done away from the rest of the fish there. So our starting point is Fly Fishing Trout Streams Master Course. Our foundation is the brown trout project that looks at so much about brown trout behavior in trout streams, the resident fish. Why are they where they are, when, doing what? And the other one that I really encourage you to have a look at is the Introduction to Sight Fishing Trout Rivers. And that one comes with a really sticky thing of everybody on the internet. If any time that we post a video of clear water and this fish or that fish, the response is always 2 or 3 people saying, I can't do that on my rivers because XYZ. It's always in runoff. There's tannic water, there's murky water, there's glacier water. I guarantee on your waters, if you know what you're looking for, being the lower glowing fins or the lower glowing side of a brown trout, or the green of its head, or the red stripe of a rainbow, or the white tips of its lower fins, or where to look in a stream. I don't care if you only have 2 feet of visibility, somewhere there's going to be a shallow holding trout to sight. So look at those 3 things, because they are the foundations of everything that we talk about in this short course on catching them all. If you get the drift of what I'm laying down is, I'm starting point. That's my starting point in what we're talking about and how we go about it. Get yourself up to speed on how we do it, why we do it, out of respect for the fish and the environment and the habitats that we're fishing, so that you understand our starting point. It doesn't mean it's right. That's the biggest part about this. Everything that I share here doesn't mean I'm right. This is just how I do it. I'd like to infuse a little bit of how I do it into you to get the mindset of, I want to catch them all. Hey, that's how that Dave guy does it. You know, he has a lot of merit. Doesn't mean I'm absolutely right, especially in your situation. Your situation is going to be different. Why? Because every single rising or sighted or prospected trout on the planet is different. Everyone has its own unique behavior because it's a live being doing its own thing in that specific environment. So where I share what I do and how I go about it, it's more of a mental game of a poise and a posture. And that's what I'd really want you to adopt as you look at situations where there's multiple trout. Go, hey, the Jensens do all this stuff as a foundation to this. And in this moment, in this situation, that's pretty similar to what I'm going through. And this is what they did then, but it's going to be different. So even though it worked for us, you might have to augment things. You might have to tweak things. That's where we hope to get you in this presentation.